Mark, I'm back. Hi guys. So listen, if there's any trolls, come on, please don't fight, don't bite, don't worry, let them be. The question is, whatever you want to put to me, and then just listen to the answers. I just really wouldn't bother with a chat tonight too much, guys. Just leave it. Just one of the reasons why I never write anything down as scripts, because everything changes when you start speaking to your audience. So you feel your audience, and that's how the flow should be, in my humble opinion, because you never know who's going to be there, who's coming and who's not coming. So being in the moment right now with you guys is me tuning. As I'm speaking to you, I'm attuning to you, I'm picking your energy up. Okay, that's how it works. But seriously, just don't waste your energy with trolls, because they love that. I mean, if you give focus to a troll, to somebody who's seriously unbalanced, you feed that. You feed it, because that's what they want. They're waiting for a reaction. Don't feed it. And then it's a bit like playing tennis. If you don't want to play tennis with somebody, you just drop the bat. Then they've got nobody to play with. But if you feed them, because I don't care what they say, I couldn't care less. Therefore, you shouldn't care. What you should care about is focusing on here. And if you've got any deep inner questions that you want to ask, I'm going to try my best to answer them. Love you all, by the way. How are you doing tonight? I made a video that, in my humble opinion, was a very powerful video, and I don't think many people will see it. Maybe a few thousand at best. Because I don't think people really will grasp the nature of it too much. Only you guys, you'll grasp it because you understand what life is about. Most people don't see life like you and I. That's why we see what we see, and they choose not to see what there is to see. That's the whole point. So part of me was, this is preaching to the converted, but again, it's about doing your best. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just doing my best, rightly or wrongly. I don't care. This is what I know is my best. And like I said, when it comes to the point of moving into the light, I can say I did my best. It may have been wrong, but it was my best. But if I know I'm not doing something that I should do, then that's a different bottle, totally different kettle of fish. A great question was asked. How can I clear guilt that has been in my past that I can't do anything about? You can. You can do loads of things right now. So whatever that was in your past, you can make amends. You fall out with a family member, you do your best to try and make up to that family member, or forgive the situation, or forgive whatever you feel guilty of. That's one thing. Once you've forgiven that, then you ask your higher self, you ask you, what should I do to try and make amends of that? Because you are now holding your hands up saying, you know what, I feel guilty for what I've done. What can I do to change my life? Meaning, how can I heal my past? Not exactly a karma, but what can I do to say, look, you know, I totally get it. Because in this energy of guilt is very normal. We all go through it, because that's the experience. The experience is, okay, I did that. Oof, I made a mistake there. Okay, brilliant. You're one step closer. You see, what I'm trying to do is project to you. And this is the comforting thing. I'm trying to project to people who don't understand this and never really got it at all. If I made that video and somebody goes, oh my God, I didn't realize, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this, and I didn't realize that, oh yeah, it is hurting me inside, and I am keeping quiet, and I thought that was right, but actually it's not right. Well, you're already healing that guilt that you had. You're already one step closer to it. So we all come into this world, we choose our family, we choose our mum and dad, we choose our body, we choose our self, we choose our experiences, we choose everything in our life. How we handle that, and how we dealt with that, and how we reacted to it, either heals us or holds us into a place where we either go through it all again if we're here. Because what happens is, I believe wholeheartedly that spirit always says, hey, if you get it wrong first time, don't worry, because we're going to do it again and again and again until you get it right. And if you don't get it right, then hey, that's just one of those things. I think then we come back again to experience this again. Do I think coming into this world is a beautiful experience? Well, that depends how you judge or how you measure it. If you measure it from the spirit world, then there's no contest. I'd rather be in the spirit world. Coming here definitely helps you understand who you are far more, because in the spirit world you don't have those experiences that can hurt people, you know. So you don't have hands that can love or kill somebody, you know. So totally different experience. Okay. Question about the book. When's Moldavite coming out? It was meant to come out 2 years ago, and every single month thereafter I have to sit down and review it again and realize that the energy shifted, and what once was is no longer. So I'm trying to keep up to it all the time. All the words are written down. Everything is being now at this moment worked upon by Lella Satie. She's working on that, including working on something very special, which is the crystal course. So she's really busy. She's exhausted. She's really busy, and she's working full on, just like I am here too, with a lot of projects that I'm dealing with right now. Got 2 sets of angel cards coming out, limited edition from. Anyway, that doesn't matter. It's not important. Let's just say that the book will come out as when it's meant to. Okay, twin flame. I just saw something, twin flame. I don't know much about twin flames. I do know this, that if you've been in this world with somebody before, or if you've been in the spirit world with somebody, and now let's just say here, if you've been here before with somebody that you loved and then you come back again, sometimes it can be really challenging being with that person. Some people say, oh, I'm looking for my soulmate, my twin flame, and you know who I am. Sometimes it's not easy looking at yourself and being with yourself in that respect. So sometimes you can wind each other up. I know a lot of times that people would come to me and I'd say, oh yeah, you're one of you two are one. I can feel you both. You've got the same energy. And then I say, you know, it might be really challenging being together. And a lot of the times they can't cope. It's just too much. So the question is, are they meant to be together? Well, why did they find each other out of the millions and billions of people? So that's interesting to start with. Are we almost like magnets to one another, to our twin flame? These are all great questions, one that I can't honestly answer because I don't know the answer to that. All I know is that the ones who I felt were of the same energy. And that was awful because they didn't want to leave each other, but then they didn't want to, they couldn't live with each other. So that's been my experience. Muscle corrosion, it's a real difficult one. 2 crystals spring to mind, one which isn't a crystal, freshwater pearl, which is fabulous for the blood, the nervous system. It seems to work really well. So fresh pearls, and hematite is really good. Again, it's a cleansing of toxins for the blood. So the blood, muscles, tissues, I'd just try them to start with. Crystals, right, when somebody, you know, wants to work with crystals and they don't feel anything, my experience of that is that I would say 90% of those people held themselves back because they so wanted to feel it. So they put too much pressure on themselves. So then that pressure actually blocked them from feeling anything. So I used to suggest just forget about the crystal, wear it and enjoy it, and don't even think about it. And then within time, a lot of people say, oh, I'm feeling something now. And I'll say, is that because you weren't trying too hard? Oh, probably. So that might be something. Crystal course. I don't know. We're working on it now. It's like in 2 weeks solid editing in the suite, and then after that it needs to be all put together on a website, and it has to be brilliant. So it could take 2 or 3 months. Somebody asked, how do I keep myself motivated? The 7 principles of life. by Don Tolman. Any questions? See if we can find some questions. Going vegan is, I don't even like the word vegan. Do I eat meat? Not anymore. I can't remember when I ate meat. I do know this though, when I used to eat meat, I could feel my stomach really struggling. And I just didn't have that much energy when I was eating, especially beef or anything like that. I mean, like others that talked about, you know, eating natural, fresh fruit and vegetables and plants and seeds and nuts. I had a lot of energy, and my motivation rose. My happiness got better. I felt better, quicker. And when anybody made me feel bad, I got happier quicker. So I think sometimes meat can lower your, because of the rotting carcass inside the stomach. I think it's a challenge for your stomach to eat the rotting carcass, because that's what it is, you know. Hey, I used to eat meat. I've got no issues with people eating meat at all. None at all. People do what they want to do. Do I eat fish? Sometimes, yeah. So I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. What I do is eat healthy, which is 99% of the time I eat fruit and vegetables, and I don't eat anything with two eyes. Yeah. I sometimes have prawns, but now, because I watched a Netflix, which I don't normally watch Netflix, but it was interesting. It was called Seaspiracy, I think. Seaspiracy. Something like that anyway. Oh my God, you know, it was like, and then I realized how much plastic are in these fish and shellfish, and that the toxins from the sea, they pick up now. So basically you're eating heavy toxins when you eat fish. It's really sad, but it's true. So I try, and I say I eat 99% of fruit and vegetables. So, but don't call me a vegan. I don't like it. I don't like being labeled at all, because then people can point a finger and say, "Oh, he's full of shit. He's a BS. He's full of BS. Look at him. He's eating fish." I don't say. I just say I eat as healthy as I can. That's all. And that I don't put pressure on myself at all. I don't eat sugar anymore at all. Refined sugar is out of my diet, and I don't wish for it, don't want it, and I push it away all the time with happiness. That took some doing, let me tell you. That took some doing. But there was a point, I don't know when, maybe about 6 months ago, that I realized, my God, don't want sugar. Sugar is the most addictive thing on this planet, I say. Absolutely. I think sugar is pure evil, and I think it's the hardest thing to get rid of. I think they say it's even harder than cocaine. Not that I've ever done cocaine, but yeah. I'm just trying to answer some of your questions tonight. I thought you might have asked me some questions about what my last video was, but it's okay, whatever you want. What are the best ways to open doors, to change careers, to one that aligns? Wow, you know, for me, that's a great question. I found myself doing something that I never thought I was aligned to. Like I started going to meditation circles. Like, what the hell is a Yorkshire guy going to a meditate? That's for puffs. That's what my dad used to say. Oh, that stuff's for puffs. And I started going, and you know, my ex-wife then, my wife then, but now my ex-wife Susie, she said, "Oh, you're a lot better. You're a lot happier." I didn't even know it. Who knew? And then I'm going for walks, thinking, "Wow, if I'm better and making her happy, then I'm going to keep going, because I don't want to upset anybody that I'm around." So I started going to them, and from there, my path became evident and organic and very natural. So the question is, did I look for it, choose it? No, I didn't. It just happened. So I don't know whether I'm a one-off, but you know, I was guided. I tricked, actually, not guided. I was tricked by a lady who is from the coast, and I thought I was going to sell some jewelry, because I was selling jewelry at that time here, magnetic jewelry, actually, funnily enough. Can you imagine that? So I was selling hematite, and it was magnetized, and I was selling loads of beautiful pieces, and yeah, people knew me for it, and yeah, I sold tons. So that was great. I used to sell it back in the UK when I had 3 or 4 shops, or did I have 5 shops? Might have had 5 shops. So I was tricked to go to a circle night. So I wasn't really looking. So it's difficult for me to say what you should and shouldn't do. So I just I don't know really. I think if it's meant to be, it will all happen. And I think a lot of the times we're so frightened that we stop ourselves, just like feeling a crystal. We so want it that we don't see it. So I guess that's why I talked about going with the flow in one of my other earlier videos. It's so important to be happy in just the flow. And all you're doing is watching the kettle boil, and actually you miss everything. So I'd stop straight away, wanting, trying, and I'd just flow and see where it takes me. I think in that moment of acceptance of everything as it should be, where I am is where I'm meant to be, and where I'll be taken to is exactly where I'm going, is the mantra that I used. And I really didn't want anything when I was doing it. I really didn't want anything when I was going to meditation. I didn't want to see anything. I didn't care about what other people were seeing. I didn't buy into all of that BS. Because I realize a lot of people just are just wanting to speak, and they love the ego. Some people are genuine and say that they see things, but a lot of people just say it and then it ruins it for everybody else. So I think, that's my journey anyway. There's a lot of over-exaggeration in this field of work. That's, I guess, why I'm on my own. I don't really hang around with too many spiritual. In fact, like I say, I'm often running like a greyhound. If anybody says the spiritual anywhere near me, I run as fast as I can. You don't need to say to somebody you're spiritual if you are. It's like me saying I'm a hairdresser to everybody. Excuse me. By the way, I'm a hairdresser. Excuse me. I'm a hairdresser. Excuse me. I sweep the streets. Excuse me. I clean windows for a living. Hi. I mean, so what? So what? And spiritual isn't a label. It's just a way of life. Why should you have to tell everybody you're spiritual? Oh, you're Mark Bajerski. I'm spiritual too. Oh, okay. Whatever. Okay. What are the best ways? So I hope I answered that question for you. Hi there. Hi from California. Hi, California. I was in California not so long back, and while I was there where was it though? Where the Doors, where Jim Morrison is. When you're strange. He sung, come on, Jim, that song that he sung. Anyway, I can't remember. Where Jim Morrison used to have coffee and he had his house. I was there, I stayed there for a little while, and people were coming up to me saying, "You're Mark Bajerski," and I'm saying, "Oh, like what? I see you on YouTube twice," and then this like cafe bar place which serves great coffee. Laurel Canyon. Good job I did it now and not 3 o'clock in the morning. Laurel Canyon. Okay, don't be afraid of losing people. How many people are in this world? Is it 7 billion to 8 billion? Yeah, it's always something to remember. Hello, Mark. Just want to say thank you for your loving spirit and soul. Thank you so much. It's really kind. We are a reflection of one another, so thank you for being amazing. New vax might as well be sugar and water. They're just what? They are just setting you up for the 3D. I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm thinking about getting off the phone. Do you have a magazine? Maybe I'm not understanding these messages. Sorry. I noticed sage in the air. It's Palo Santo sticks. So it's Palo Santo, and there's sage in there. There's also frankincense in there, and there's Moldavite in there, and they're pure energy sticks, awakening sticks. They're really great. Okay, if you are gone, write it all down and burn know, Mark. Right, I know what that means. Family, you know, because we seem to have this thought that we're born into a family and we've got this, I don't know, invisible, you know, there's this saying that you know, blood is thicker than water and things like that. But you know what? Some of the most beautiful family I have are not my actual blood family, biological family. And maybe that's so. Why did it, I mean, if you believe in this man, if you believe if it was real, but why do so many people leave their family to go and find themselves? I think a lot of the times, if you're stuck in a family energy, then you're never going to progress. You're never going to grow. Because whereas if you leave there like I did, and I felt the urge to leave where my family was and where my friends were, I came and started to be able to grow because like all my friends were like, what? He's an auctioneer. What do you mean he reads people's futures? What a lot of shit. What a lot of rubbish. He's a liar. He's a cheat. Well, why is that? Because I changed direction. That make me a liar and a cheat because I found something in my life that I was actually quite good at for a change and like I really enjoyed it. Does that make me a liar and a cheat? And it's very difficult when you're on a spiritual path because you're so easily set up to be mocked. It's the only profession in the world that you shouldn't charge. I don't charge for my gift. I charge for my time, just like you do and anybody else does. It's just that I actually work with cards and I just read people's futures and heal people. But that's a gift. So is everything else you do in this world. Yeah, but you know, you're set up straight away. But I tell you, it's quite interesting how many people actually stick at this field of work because many people dab their toe in and they realize, whoa, this is some difficult shit. Why is that? Listen, guys, I can't wait till we have our own site and we're not public because we can have an inner circle that we can really talk and I can share. You can see me holding back with a lot of things, right? Not just about swearing. I'm talking about holding back with things that I can't say publicly. So I have to be careful. But when we do get our private, I can let rip and share so much information with you and I'll be able to feel free as well. Because the law can't touch us. Here they can. The law says you're in the public eye, so whatever you say, it will be held against you in a court of law if you say the wrong thing. So I do at times hold back at certain things. But yeah, dabbing your toe into the spiritual world, let me tell you, if you're pretty good, the darkness knows if you're pretty good, you will be attacked. I think the darkness has stopped light workers, more light workers in this world than you can imagine, because a light worker is normally very, very sensitive and they feel a lot of pain because the reason why is because, wow, you're so sensitive about everything. Well, that'll make you a fantastic healer. It'll make you a fantastic seer of your future. You'll be a fantastic guide for people because you feel everything. You see, you get a numbnuts who's like, oh, you're stupid, you're an idiot, or just eats meat and drinks beer. I mean, that person is, you know, sorry. That's not somebody who can ever do our work, and never would they understand at all. That's why it's not worth your energy even entering into a conversation with these people, because you are wasting your energy when you could be using it for people who really appreciate it and who want to learn. That's why it's a gift and it's an art when you share your truth with the right people. That's why I'm sharing it here now, but I'm not focused on any idiot talking stupid. No way. I won't waste my energy. I put my energy into people who I can feel really are interested. I can see if somebody's trying to be an idiot and a smart ass. I'm not interested in them. I've grown up with idiots, and you know, you'd have to wake up pretty early to fool me, I'll tell you, because I'm not green behind the ears. I used to work for myself when I was 8 years old. Eh? And I made more money than my dad when I was 13. These idiots who talk to me, who forget it. Hi, Mark. How to heal the body or any chronic or acute diseases? By healing, it's constant healing and meditation. a lot of the times our pain and suffering is because of what we call blocks. Okay, when we in the energy of blocks, which is a block is filled with fear, worry, and all of the negative thoughts and feelings we have all day, that actually corrodes the whole body system. And it's true, it's a scientific fact. If you live in fear, you lower your immune system, which then, and that book came out in the 1940s, and a doctor wrote it. Basically, fear or worry sends the immune system in a very low and desperate place. Once that happens, then the immune system can be compromised. Every aspect of your being can be compromised, your eyes, your mind, everything. So I would suggest to begin with and work towards your happiness. Any issue that you have, that is what you need to be clearing and letting go of. I hope that helped a little bit. Okay, you've been on Richie Allen lately? No, and I've no need to go onto the Richie Allen show, to be honest. I only really went onto the show when I had something for me worth talking about. Other than that, I don't think I'm really the Richie Allen radio show kind of guy. For like just general conversation about spirituality. People are not really ready for that, to be honest. They want to hear certain things, but nah, spirituality is not really huge on the Richie Allen radio show. That's more for people who are interested in facts and want to know what's going on in the world right now. And I dig that, because I'm really into Richie Allen radio show, and I'm thinking, you know what, some of his guests are so amazing. Why would you waste your time with me for 1 or 2 hours? You know, there's too much going on right now, and I don't have anything valuable, in my humble opinion, that is worthy of going on to the Richie Allen show. And if he asked me to go on at this moment, I wouldn't want to go on, because I don't think I've got anything really valuable to say. So I'm asked to go on radio shows, TV shows all the time, and I say no to most of them, because I don't feel as if I've got anything to say, really. And when I do these videos, this is like, okay, if somebody wants to watch it, they'll watch it, and if somebody needs to be drawn to it, they'll see it, you know. But if I had something to say and I think, oh my God, this is a revelation, I need to talk about it, like I did about the vaccine, and I went onto the show, but I only did that after, you know, I'd worked with like, I think 13 people, and then I started seeing the signs of what was happening. And like, people were saying to me, Mark, I'm going blind. Mark, this is happening. Mark, that's happening. What's coming out of me? Mark, I'm losing it. And it's like, okay, I need to go onto the Richie Allen show and warn people. So again, I did my best. Okay. I'm just curious. Okay, I'm trying to go through some of the it's a bit dark in here, isn't it? It's a bit dark in here. I'm trying to find some of your messages, because I have to scroll down on the right hand side. Okay, do you know Mark? Okay, Chronic One, I've done that one. Richie Allen, done that. Richie's amazing, by the way. I love him. I love Richie. I love Caroline. Beautiful people, really are, like rare gems in this world of lies and manipulation. It's nice to have a bit of fresh air when you're listening. I forgot, and all these guests. I've forgotten family, even if I haven't forgotten. Okay, I dig it. I usually don't comment, but on YouTube, but I really like your content, especially the healing live sessions. Yeah, it takes quite a lot out of me, so I try and do them, and then it takes me a few days to get over it, because I'm not as young as I used to be, and I do put a lot of effort into it. I really do, and people, I think, are enjoying it. So when I feel strong again, because as a pure energy healer, one of the things I teach, I guide people in, don't ever do your work if you're not feeling well, because it's not, you know, your client is paying, or your client is come to you because they need help, which means that it's important that you are strong, because without knowing, you're either a radiator or a drain. So if you think you're doing a healing session and you're not feeling 100%, what could be happening is your client lying down is giving you healing, and that's not what you want. That's not good. That's not clever. So you've got to feel really strong when you're doing healing, and healing one-to-one with you guys is the same as doing a healing session for me. So a big giant hug back to you. Thanks. Hi, Brendan Martin. How you doing? It's always lovely to have you on here. You're a breath of fresh air, Brendan, and you're a very special soul. And you're always in my thoughts. I've got to be honest. And I was going to ask you, here's publicly, I was going to ask you when Invoke Vision TV comes out, I wondered if you want to be a moderator, somebody to watch out, and I would offer you a job. And pay to because you really are beautiful with your words. You're kind, you're caring, you're not quick to judge, and I would like to offer you some work if you want to join us, the team. That's publicly. I'm saying, but I think you'd be great because you've got this gift of something that I really like, and I respect and I honor that. So yeah, have a think about that. Is there energy harvesting going on? Yes, there is. And what's the best way to combat it? For me, healing yourself. I spend like in the morning about between 5 and 15 minutes giving myself healing. And the way I do that is to protect one place, which is the most important place, and that is the energy around here, the heart. So I have one hand out, one hand on the heart, and just leave it there. 10 to 15 minutes and I'm done. And then at night, I'll do the same before I go to bed. And through the day, I'll do some exercises, some healing exercises. So it's kind of like a practice. And even if I'm like watching something like on TV, which I don't watch normal TV, if it's a documentary, something I'm interested in, or I'm watching somebody that I really like who talks what I'm wanting to hear, I'll always have one hand on the heart. And the reason why is because I'm strengthening it. And what happens is the natural healing phenomena, it's incredible, is if you've got one hand out receiving and the other hand placed on the heart, without even doing anything, you are strengthening the heart. And if you've got a strong heart, nothing can manipulate it. The only time you're manipulated and harvesting is only done when you're in fear and worry and stress. So I guess it makes sense to be as happy as you can, if that makes sense. Hello, West Virginia, Mountain Man, take me home to the place I was born. I am watching while I make hummus. Yummy. Trouble with chickpea is that I like it, but it kind of has an effect on me, and I could go windsailing and I probably cross the Atlantic in 5 minutes. Do a Scottish accent anyway. Better out than him, I always say. I think, just in case, sorry, I don't know. Third eye opening. Well, I've got loads of videos. If you're asking about third eye opening, I've got tons of videos on third eye opening. Love to all in chat. Full moon, if you say so. Oh, no thanks. I really struggle on a full moon, guys. I really do. Maybe I need to clear the... I think I've got parasites. Even after cleansing my body, I think we've all got parasites, and I think nobody talks about it. So one of the things I'm looking at is I'm getting a guest on YouTube very soon in the next few days. And he's an old friend of mine, and he's doing some great work, and it's ozone therapy. Basically, if you can oxygenate the mind, the brain, it kills parasites in the brain. And if you struggle with the energy of the moon, I believe it's because you've got parasites in the brain. Now, don't be frightened of it. It's not a big deal, but I tell you what, after these ozone treatments, I believe it helps. There's also other things like herbs that you can use. and stuff like that. But anyway, we're going to get into that in a few days. He's called Dominic Waterson, and he has a new company, and it's called Health Bunker. So he's a great guy. Love him to bits, and he used to be a comedian as well, and a singer. A great guy. Love you too. Green light healing. Sorry, I don't understand that. I'll try and just go through what I understand. Thank you. You have to make things really simple for me, and like, you know, thank you so much for your kind words. Can we talk more about how to get the creative spirits in the room? Yeah, okay, I'll do a video about talking about how to get into the creative flow. I'll do a video. If I do that now, it'll take up all the night. Do you have guides, or how do you? No, I don't. When I first started, I had this Indian lady came out of a water with like this flower, and she sat with me, and then this is really weird, but I actually said to her, "You're getting a bit too close, and I'm married. Do you mind?" At that point, I thought I've definitely lost the plot now. But she presented herself, and she called herself Shanti, and I thought, oh, it's a lovely name. And then I heard a record a few days later, and on this record it was singing Om Shanti, and I'm like, who is that? Who's Shanti? And they said, no, it's it's a word. It's not a name. That's how brilliant I am. I'm going to tell you. But no guides. What I do is ask for spirit to come forward and help me, which means that I'm open to any spirit in the spirit world who is willing to help. So a lot of the times I got family members coming through of the clients that I'm working on predominantly. And sometimes I might ask for help if I'm in a really difficult situation. And sometimes my mum comes through. Or sometimes Brian comes through, who moved into the light. He was really lovely. He sometimes comes in when I'm working on teenagers, and they're really heartbroken, or they've tried to commit suicide. He normally comes in. He's got this energy, which is, yeah, I'm not going to start crying, but this guy is incredible in the spirit world. Also, Shirley, who was once one of my teachers, she comes in every now and again. And Penelope, she comes in too. She's yeah. So certain people come, but I don't want a guide per se. I don't want somebody to follow me every day and be with me every day. I just say, look, guys, get on and do what you do. And if I call, if anybody can come along and help, please do. There were times I'd do readings and say, I'm sorry, I didn't feel anything. Nobody came through, you know. And a lot of the times I realized that, you know what, Mark, it isn't a bad thing, because sometimes if, you know, you come and your dad's passed away into the spirit world, sometimes he doesn't come through, and you might come 3 or 4 times. And then I realized that, hey, he's back again. So he's come into another body as another soul learning again. So sometimes you can't always connect to spirit if they're here in the physical world and it's not nighttime. A lot of the times, if they're asleep, then I could pull that energy through, you know. Even touched on 1% of it, and we pretend we know what we're talking about, but we actually don't know anything. We know like hardly nothing. And so many people talk as if they know everything, and I think you don't really know everything at all, and neither do I. And let's leave it there and be honest and open about it and say, you know what, we should listen to everybody, and then we get more of an understanding. So it's kind of like a natural science that we're learning and progressing, because everything isn't the same as it was 10 years ago. It wasn't the same 16 years ago. Things have changed. When I attune now, it's not the same as I did 16 years ago. Could it be me? Yeah, it could. Or could it be the change in the energy around us? Could it be that the 5G grid is causing great harm now to connect, and it's not the same as it once was? So there's a lot of things that we don't know, and a lot of things that is happening now that is causing mayhem to our connection to the spirit world. That's what I talked about on the Richie Allen radio show. And CERN, DARPA, HARP, and all these kind of MK Ultra nasty things that are still happening now with all of these dark ops. definitely, I know for a fact, one person came to me and said it's been going for a long time, and he was working for a military industrial complex as a civilian, and he was a psychic. So it still goes on even now. My first mentor worked most of the week, worked for the FBI, and I used to sit and listen. She was doing occult ritual readings and trying to help the FBI solve cases. I was there watching, you know. So yeah, we're used, but the general public, this is what makes me laugh. The general public laugh at us as if we're nobody, and yet those that they look up to are the ones that come to us. I had people who used to come to me, civil servants who worked alongside presidents. And then people are laughing at me like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm saying, well, you want to meet some of my clients? I think that shut you up. You want to meet the last two doctors who's just been to see me, head of a nurse department. This guy here was a multi-billionaire. Right, yeah. Oh, my works. Let me tell you something, mate. What you don't know is that we are used by those people because they know the truth. And you, who's mocking and ridicule, know nothing. And that's why dangerous ones know as well. Because I was very careful who I allowed to do readings on. If they were dangerous, I mean really dangerous, and they want to do something that isn't good, I used to tell them to go straight away. Say, sorry mate, can't do a reading for you. I don't pick anything up. See you later. And knowing fully well who that is and what he was about to do. Why do you think Adolf Hitler had 3 psychics around him? People know. These people know, trust me. That's what they work with. You think that religion doesn't know? Religion looks up all the time. That's why they tell you to look down. Hey, if you only knew. If people only knew the real truth. You're made to believe that everything is truth is a lie. So what you think is a lie because the mainstream media mock and belittle is actually the truth. And whatever the mainstream media and religion tell you to do is normally a lie. So I hope you're enjoying the chat. I had a beautiful day today. Creating expectation. I don't really understand that. How do you create expectation? I don't really understand that question. Sorry. Creating your future, I understand, but creating your expect. So you, I don't know, because expectations, isn't that a word which is something that is already derogatory? Expectations, you know, I don't know. I mean, I have an issue with The Secret, and I think it's messed up a lot of people's lives. But I tend to feel that what we deserve, we'll get. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with dreams. I think they're beautiful. And you know what? There is a saying, and it's a really true saying, be careful for what you dream. Because the truth is, whenever you get the dream, it's never really what you expected. The dream was even more beautiful. So keep the dream, hold on to the dream, because normally when you get the dream, it's never what you expected. So it's the dream what really counts. Since I was 12 years old, from 8 years old, even younger, I used to be in a mobile home for 6 weeks with my mum and dad and brothers and sisters in a caravanette, blue and white, Volkswagen caravanette, and I dreamt of it. And last year, for the first time in my life, I was able to afford one. Well, not me, the company. So got this mobile home, and yeah, it's really nice. But let me tell you, the dream was a million times nicer. So enjoy the dream, because that is really the value of everything. Dream big. Oh yeah, well, you can say that. You've got your dream. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're bloody right. Okay, I'm just trying to pick up. Troll. Didn't see one troll here. Oh, well, that's nice. Thank you. Thank you, Mark, for... Okay, I think I've seen them. I have a mercury tooth. Be careful if you're thinking about taking it out. Be very careful. From my experiences, guys, be very careful, depending on how old you are. I guess if you are young, then maybe that's something. But if you're like my age, 50, my dentist keeps trying to get me to take it out. Let me tell you before you do, you need information, and that is whoever takes it out, if it's not taken out correctly and it's only a slip of a hand, and if any of that mercury goes down into you, you can be in bed for a year to 2 years. That's how bad it is. So you want my opinion? I'm gonna get punished for this. I'd probably leave them and just eat healthy and cleanse your body, because the gamble, the risk would be too high for me. And I've got them. I had a filling taken out here, but it wasn't what's it called? It wasn't mercury. So I had a gold I saved up for about 2 months, maybe 3, and I had a gold filling, and now I can feel the healing from that. So yeah, be careful. I really mean it. Be careful, because I had a lot of clients who were ill, and it's not fun because you're in bed for 2 years ill. Okay, what does it say? Hi, Mark. I used to follow someone on YouTube before who used to say that the light was in fact a trap. Yeah, I've done videos on that. My argument, my counter argument is this. I had about 7 clients, good clients, really good. They used to come to me a lot, and they had what's called I don't know why they call it near-death experience, because it is a death experience. It's a moving into the light experience. So they died for seconds, and in that time, what I heard from my clients is that they saw a light, and then they were in a place where they were basically talking to their mum, grandma, brother, uncle, whoever was in the light, and they were just having a conversation. They couldn't see them, but they knew they were there, and they were just talking, and then they came back again. So if that is the truth, then why is it that my clients never said to me, I went into the light and and it was awful, and it was pulling me back into the earth, into another body or whatever. So I like, how do you know that? I do believe in common sense, and okay, that makes sense, or that doesn't make sense. Please explain. And every time somebody's tried to explain that to me, I think it just doesn't resonate with me. And I'm sorry, guys, but I've been in a room, right, where somebody's moving into the light, and as they move into the light, this beautiful warmth in the room comes. When healing is done, and there's a warmth that generates in the room, I don't know what to call it, but it's an energy like nothing I've ever felt, and it doesn't last. It's only a short moment, but if you're a psychic and you're attuned to it, if you're a seer with a bright light. And a lot of my clients said that when they were moving into the light, they felt their family. That's a very normal thing. They feel their family. So I don't know, if you follow the light and your family helps you into the light, if you've got no guilt, you don't feel bad, you're looking forward to seeing your family, you're not a really awful bad person that just doesn't believe in any of this, you're really ready to move into the light. It's quite a beautiful phenomenon. It's a nice experience. So I don't know, I would wager, well, let me tell you this, when I'm ready to go, I will be moving straight into that light. And if I do come back straight away, that's because I chose to come back again. Because within them moments of moving into the light, you see various images of what you've been through. And it's kind of like, okay, I'm ready to go into the light now. And you look at your life in that moment to see how you've done. And I think that there might be, I don't know, maybe there's I don't know, maybe what happens is, and I have thought about this many times, at the moment of looking at your life and realization of everything that you've been through, we ask ourselves, did I do my best? And if there's a point where you don't feel you did your best, then ultimately there's a saying that we come back again to learn it again. So there's a possibility that you come straight back because you didn't do what you wanted to do, or you feel you could have done better, and you want to progress and grow in a spiritual sense on earth in a physical body. So there is this saying that when somebody is extremely pure and they've gone through so much pain and they've handled it really well as best they can, then they don't need to come back again, and they go back home and it's probably the last time they're here. I don't know, but I have met people that I felt resonated at such a beautiful level that I thought, wow, I'm not so sure whether you'll come back again. So maybe what that person's saying is, who said that, oh, don't go into the light, it brings you back again. I believe in free will, and I think that at that point you will make a decision whether you come straight back. This world we live in is time, because it's been created by false religions and dogmas. Time. Look at the moon. Look at that, and it's valued. The time's valued. To me, it's not valued at all. It's actually time. To me, is a dangerous thing, because time is deadlines. Time is, why weren't you on time? Time was, you don't respect me because you don't come when you say you do. So for me, I don't really like time per se, even though I do accept that we have to get up and some people have to go to work and they have to wrap and we agree on a time. Yeah, but you don't get angry with people and don't say, this was a deadline, boop, and all that. So again, this conversation can go on for days, if not weeks, and we can really talk about this, and I think we should talk about it more. But do I think that there's a deception? I don't think there is. I think the only deception we have is that of our deception of what we feel before we move into the light. So do we feel guilt? Then, have we done something terrible that we don't want to walk into the light because we're frightened, or we feel ashamed of it because the light is pure? And maybe at that point where people say, oh, don't go into the light, well, maybe you've made a conscious decision to walk into the light and through the in-between and then come back again. That's how I would probably wager it was that. So if you're ashamed and you've done terrible things, then you sometimes get stuck in between two worlds, because you just won't walk into that light. You're frightened of what you're going to see, or you're ashamed. Or you say, okay, I've done my best, but there's something I could have done better. And then you go into the light and then come straight back here again from there. And because you made that decision, I don't think there's a God. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't think there's a God. I think there's the sea is like the spirit world. We are the sea. And if you take a single drop out of that sea, that is you. But you put yourself back in the sea and you are one with the sea. That's how I see my spirit world. So there is nobody better or worse. There's nobody judging you. The only person to judge you as a single drop is you. Is any of the jabs? It's UK government, UK gov.com, and then type in any search engine yellow paper, and on the yellow paper it gives you all the information of how many vaccines have been given, how many people have adverse effect, a cause, suffering, how many people have died, and then it goes through that deep vein thrombosis, heart attacks, and it gives you all the information. Whether that's up to date, whether it's real and true, I don't know, but I think it's the closest. And by that, then you look at that and then ask yourself if it's worth it. For me, it's not worth it at all, because I've got a fantastic immune system. And if you've had an injection, what you worried about, mate? You know, what do you have an injection for? Oh, to protect myself from the COVID-19. Okay, so you're all right then. No, you have it. Well, why do I need it? You've just had it. Didn't you just say that it protects you from that? It's just utter nonsense. It's utter nonsense. All of it is an absolute farce. And if people can't see it now, then there's nothing we can do. But it is an absolute scandal, outrage. It's a criminal. It should be a criminal investigation for murder to the masses. That's my humble opinion. Any questions, guys? Mark, I'm just curious if in your opinion, I don't think anybody's asking me any questions now. So I'm going to go if nobody's asking me any questions, eh? I don't think anybody's asked me a question for ages. Or maybe you have. Is that a new one? 2131. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with my maybe there's something wrong with this. Top chat. Some messages such as potential spam. All messages are visible. Okay, guys, nobody's asking me any questions. Can anyone tell me about Oregon? Is that the crystal? How to deal with change. How to deal with change. When you think you've got everything sorted out, the world changes, and it's true. So how to deal with change is to, like you would, how to stand on a piece of wood, and on that piece, put the piece of wood on a ball, and then balance yourself on it, and do that, and get ready. Because anything can happen at any given moment, and you have to fully focus and concentrate. So it's called balance. You have to be balanced, and you've got to be ready for things always, for change. And change is a good thing. I really love change. In fact, if not, I get really bored. So I like change. That's why I get to enjoy change. What soap do you use when you shower? It's a natural soap from the organic store. I don't know what it's called. Well, let me show you. Hang on. Yeah. So this one's aloe vera, and it's as natural as I can get. It's sin lots of stuff, so it's as natural as I can get. Hope that answered your question. Andara crystals. I can't. I don't know what that is. I don't know all crystals at all. I'm only touching the surface. I might know a few thousand, but there's 30,000 crystals. I don't know them all. Can you speak about? No, I ask. So sorry. There's probably loads of people who know more about crystals than I do. It's all about boosters, vaccines now. Terrible. I knew it would never stop. I said this, I predicted this from the start. Everybody's going, oh, we'll just wait with that vaccine. I said, it's not going to be one. It's not even going to be two. It's not even going to be three. It's going to be every week, every month, every year. It's going to be a passport. You're going to, once that passport's in your, we're finished. We're done. Lemurian quartz. I love it. It's one of the most powerful crystals in the world. Lemurian quartz, for me, I worked with that for 4 or 5 years. The most amazing people. It ended up in the hand, believe it or not, of a native Indian boy. And it was a long piece, about that long, chipped at the end, all the way down. And you know, it's rigid like that all the way. When you cut it, it's always rigid that way. And I gifted it as a gift, and he was so overjoyed, back in the hands of the ones who used to use it. So that was a great, that, yeah, I should write that one. That story is a good story. I should write that. I have a lot of stories. Why is it hard for me to hold Moldavite when I meditate? Great question. It's a great question. Well, it's like anything. I think if anything's hard, it's because whatever's happening in your body and your energy field, there's a kind of disruption, and you need to disrupt the energy field. You need to fix the inside. So sometimes Moldavite has this real powerful energy that really works on places that other crystals don't. And it's got a different frequency from any other crystal in the world. And in fact, I have handled Libyan desert glass. I've handled lots of different tactites, but Moldavite is something very unique. It vibrates on a completely different energy. That crystal, that meteorite came from a very special place, I'll tell you. And that's what we're writing about in the book. And it took me a while when I was meditating with it. It was like, this is really, really difficult. But I worked my way through it, and something happened. And it's like one day, it's like, okay, that crystal's done its work. So for me, I think Moldavite is the crystal that really, it's really a worker. It's a real working crystal. And it doesn't stop. It's like, like the palpitations, the heart, the pain in the heart, that stabbing pain and all that. I think it's really working on situations that we don't even know about as well. Yeah, that stuff is incredible. It's just a shame there's so much fake now. It really is a shame there's so much fake. I get a 10 gram, 20 gram Moldavite, and they've told me they've just paid 15 euros for it, or 20. It's like, you can't buy a 10 gram Moldavite for 15 euros. You just, tell me where you got it from. I'll have it all. But you just can't. Yeah, I actually, for the first time ever, truth be told, first time ever, I said no to Moldavite 2 weeks ago. I just said no, I'm not paying that. No, not a chance. Because it's gone up times three or four. I just can't afford anymore. It's like I've got a lot of stuff, and I'm not cheap, but it's not cheap to buy. Stop telling me I'm expensive. You go and buy it. You go to the Czech Republic like I do. You buy it from them. You tell me, oh yeah, it's cheap. No, it's not cheap. Don't tell me it's cheap. You can't buy it cheap. I'm in the Czech Republic buying it directly from the guy who's dug it, giving it to this guy who's selling it to me. There's no cheaper place. There's nobody. No. So you're buying fake. And if you go to China, if you type online fake Moldavite, there's hundreds of tons of it. It's glass and it's everywhere. So, I spoke to one guy who's wrote a book about Moldavite. He's more specific of the science. And he said to me, he thinks there's 80% fake Moldavite on the market now. And I would agree. I said, oh, I'm not so sure about that, but I think he's right. There is. It's flooded. So people are going, oh, this Moldavite is killing me. Actually, it's fake, mate. Excuse me, madam, on TikTok, could you just tell me how much you paid for it? Yeah, I paid $14. And I said, and what weight is it? Oh, it's 22 grams. Yeah, of course it's the Moldavite. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, so I just giggle. Now. I mean, TikTok. Let's just try and just have a field day of acting. Okay, I think I'm tired now, guys. I wish you a lovely day. Yeah, it's dark now out there. It's dark. So I just switched the light on, sorry. That video about, but I think you already got it, or else you would have asked loads of questions. I hope this video serves you well tonight. Question, should I leave? Okay, sorry. Quick question. Should I leave this video up or should I take it down? You're doing great work. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sometimes I wonder if I am. Sometimes I wonder if I'm upsetting people a lot. Leave it, okay? I don't ever mean to upset anybody. Never my intention. You know, if you're a sensitive, you know what it's like to be hurt. So I don't hurt people, but I do have a giggle. When people do stupid things, I point it out and I say, you know, stop being silly, you know, come on, wake up a little bit. Don't be like that, because it upsets other people, and it's so important that right now we have to tell the truth, because if we don't tell the truth, we're going to get into a world of evil, pure evil and darkness, where lies become truths and truth become lies. And like I'm seeing it right now. I mean, I always give up on the mainstream media because I don't believe a word they say. I mean, they're just constant liars, actors, and they're just playing out a role for whatever they're selling or the agenda. So like now, the actors on mainstream media, the doctors, the scientists, they're all acting, playing out a role for an agenda, which is for vaccines, because the sale of vaccines are worth so much money, and the loss of their job if they don't talk about it would be them their career finished. So it's all an illusion. It's all duping people. And when you are a sensitive, you can smell it a mile off. That's BS. That's all BS. You're talking BS. You're telling me it's safe at the same time as people are dying and screaming of pain and suffering. You're lying through your teeth, mate. Why? Because of that. That's why. There. You're telling me that doesn't exist. You're telling me these people are not dead because of they've just had an injection 2 days ago, 3 days. Oh, that's a coincidence, is it? Oh, okay. So now all that's a coincidence. But prior, when people were just dying of heart attacks, that was COVID. So why couldn't that be a coincidence then? It's all BS. It's all a lie. You know it. I know it. It's all a lie. Now, if it's a lie and they're trying to push something like crazy, that should ring alarm bells with you instantly. And everything that the media has ever done throughout history is, if they start with their propaganda, which that you normally, that is pure propaganda. That is somebody pushing something and they're paying to push it. They're giving them money or saying, if you don't do it, you're going to lose your job. So come on, guys. You know, I'm preaching to the converted, but we know. And we will look back on history and say, oh, that was a terrible time. Wasn't it terrible? Oh, it was terrible. How many people died again? Millions. Oh, yes, it was shocking. Anyway, what's on telly? Okay, that's it, guys. Love you all. Stay safe, stay strong, look after your immune system. Absolutely look after your immune system. Look after it. Find out about it. Go to Don Tolman. Have a look at some of his videos. He's got a video out there. Don Tolman. D-O-N and then Tolman. T-O-L-M-A-N. Don Tolman. Then have a look and you'll see him. He wears a cowboy hat. And he's got, I think it's a 7 or 8 part like talk. His talks are brilliant. So watch it. Watch all of it. Watch it when he's introduced. And then he talks about the pharmaceutical industry. And he talks about something extremely important. Illness. What is disease? And he talks about tubes. Just like Dr. Seebe talked about tubes. He talked about mucus. He talked about blocking of tubes. When you understand it, we are nothing but a tube. Everything. Mouth, tube. Backside, tube. Ears, tube. Stomach, all tube. Brain, all tube. Everything is tubes. Makes sense. But the pharmaceutical industry don't want you to know that, because actually healing is really easy and simple if you know how to look after your body. Okay? And the problem with Dr. Seebe is that everybody's hijacked him. You know, they all hijacked him, all his family, and I don't believe anybody apart from what Dr. Seebe said. And that's it. I'm sorry, I just don't believe anybody. I think everybody was out to you know, make money. I don't care who it is. But I watch Dr. Seebe's work, and the old videos I watch and listen and read and do my research. And yeah, he's great. I mean, so you're going to like, oh, what do you mean? Potatoes are bad? Really? Aloe vera's not natural? Whoa, can I cope with that? Well, you can cope with it. Just listen to it. in that. Maybe the fruits and vegetables which aren't as natural, and maybe I'll try that and give it a go. It's all about learning and experimenting, but with nature. Experiment with nature, not with poisons. There's a difference. Love you all. Good night, guys. I'll leave the video up for a little bit so you can have a chat with each other. Okay? Cheers, Brendan. Talk to you soon, guys. Wish us luck. We're trying to get... Oh, my God. This TV thing is taking some doing. So the guy who was going to do it now, he also has said, I just can't do it. It's just so big. I think it's too big for most people. I think it's really too big. Even though I said I'll pay, it's too big. It's too big. It's a big, big project, and it's going to take a lot. Good night, guys. All right. Need some water. Wish you well. Love you all. No one has the power over you. I think what I'll do is there's 230 some people on here. What I'll do is I'll say, and I will leave this up. What day is it today? Okay, then Sunday night, 8 o'clock Spain time, we'll do another one-to-one healing, if you like, if that sounds okay to you. Okay, I got a yes, so I'll do it. Love you too. We'll do another beautiful healing session. Good night, wonderful people. Thanks a lot. And thank you to all the shills who either didn't come or came and just listened. And hey, who knows? Maybe some of those people who were angry just listened and thought, you know what, he's not such a bigger plonker as I thought. Yeah, if you get to know me, actually, a lot of the times, if you get to know me, you'll probably find I'm kinder to you and gift and send you things and treat you with the respect that you deserve. You'll be surprised how many people who are angry take it out on the wrong people. Why is that? Well, they're easier to punch, eh? Good night. I'll leave the music on for a little bit for you. Okay. Night night. No, I don't own any crypto. Just so you know, I don't own crypto, Dave. Sorry, mate. I have no understanding on monetary stocks and shares. Sorry. I'm just looking at some of your messages here on the big screen. Some of you guys are very interesting. You've got some great, some great insights. You really are.